Jonah stood in the bright light of God, looking worried and unsure what to do. God's voice came from the sky, said,
"Go to the big city of Nineveh and tell the people to stop doing bad things, because I see all the wrong."
Then Jonah left his home behind, as God asked him to go to Nineveh. Inside his house, Jonah felt upset. That night, he spoke out loud, showing his worry.
Nineveh? Those heathens? Why should I warn them?
Jonah didn't like the people of Nineveh and didn't want to help them. God's command felt very heavy on Jonah, and it made him troubled. Jonah continues to struggle. At Joppa's harbor, a big ship was ready to sail far away to Tarshish. Jonah walked quickly toward the ship, ready to run away. He turned his back and ran away from what God asked him to do. The ship sailed away, taking Jonah farther from the path God wanted him to follow. The ship moved smoothly on the water, but inside Jonah's heart, there was a big storm. Jonah went down inside the ship, trying to hide from what God told him to do. He looked around the dark inside of the ship, trying to find a quiet place to rest. Jonah found a quiet corner and lay down, trying to forget what God had told him. The calm sea turned wild as a big storm came, covering the sky with dark clouds. Huge waves splashed over the ship again and again, almost sinking it. The sailors ran around in fear, shouting loudly, but the storm was even louder. The storm grew stronger, tossing the ship around like a little toy in the water. The sailors huddled close, their faces scared as they whispered prayers for help. The captain walked quickly down into the ship, looking serious and determined. His voice booms through the ship.
"Jonah, wake up. Call on your God. Maybe he will save us."
The ship creaked and groaned, as if it might break apart. On the deck, the sailors held on tight in the strong wind, their faces full of worry. The sailors agreed to draw lots to find out who was making the storm happen. All the sailors gasped when the lot showed it was Jonah. The sailors looked at Jonah and asked,
"Who are you? Where do you come from? What is your occupation? And from what country do you come?"
Jonah stood on the ship's deck, the big ocean behind him. The sailors waited for his answer.
I am a Hebrew, and I worship the Lord, the God of heaven who made the sea and the dry land. I am fleeing from the Lord.
The big ocean was quiet as Jonah spoke. The sailors were afraid as the ship rocked in the waves. Then one sailor shouted in panic,
"What should we do to you to make the sea calm down for us?"
Throw me into the sea, and it will become calm.
With sad hearts, the sailors threw Jonah into the stormy sea. Jonah fell into the wild, crashing waves and sank beneath the water. Suddenly, the storm stopped, and everything became calm and quiet, like God had touched the sea. Jonah was tossed into the rough sea, waves splashing all around him. He tried to catch his breath as the cold water hit him. Then the ocean pulled him down, deeper and deeper. Jonah sank to the bottom of the sea. Then a big fish came and swallowed him alive. Down, down, down went Jonah, all the way into the big fish's super dark tummy. The big fish's throat squeezed shut, and Jonah was trapped inside. It was super dark, and the walls of the fish's tummy felt all wiggly and squishy. It was hard for Jonah to breathe in there, and the air was yucky and smelly. It felt like the walls were closing in on him. Jonah felt super sad and tired in the darkness, and he started to lose hope. For 3 whole days and 3 whole nights, Jonah was stuck inside the big fish. He was all alone in the dark, feeling very, very sad. Jonah's face was thin and dirty, with tear tracks on his cheeks. It showed how sad and scared he was from being trapped inside the fish. Even though the fish's tummy was yucky and smelled bad, Jonah prayed and cried out to God for help.
I was in so much trouble, and I called to you, God, and you answered me. From way down here, I asked for your help, and you heard my cry.
Jonah knelt down sadly in the dark. He was so sorry for what he had done that he cried out to God.
But I, with shouts of grateful praise, will sacrifice to you. I'll do what I said I would do. I know that only you can save me.
The hot, sunny beach was ready for something to happen. A great big wave stood up tall, like a huge water mountain, getting ready to splash down. The big wave spit Jonah out and threw him onto the beach. He was very tired and had to catch his breath, but he was finally free from the fish's tummy. Jonah tried to take a deep breath, but all he could taste and smell was yucky, salty ocean. Jonah lifted his head and looked up at the sky, so happy to be alive. The sun was hot, and the waves were making soft swooshing sounds on the sand. Suddenly, a big voice boomed out from the sky, saying,
Go to the big city of Nineveh and tell the people what I want you to tell them.
Jonah heard the voice and knew what he had to do. This time, he didn't run away or hide. He went straight to the big city, just like God told him to. The hot sun made long shadows as Jonah started walking toward Nineveh with a happy heart to do what he was supposed to. Jonah walked up to the big gates of Nineveh, and their shadows looked like giants over him. He walked right through the gates and saw the whole city stretching out in front of him, with people and animals all over the place. The city was filled with so many people, and it was so loud with all their chattering and talking. It felt like the city was alive. Jonah's voice was loud and clear, and it was heard even over all the noise of the city.
In 40 days, the city of Nineveh will be gone.
Everyone stopped and was super quiet for a second, and then they all went back to what they were doing.
In 40 days, the city of Nineveh will be gone.
Jonah's words made the busy city go quiet. People stopped what they were doing and looked at him, surprised by what he said. Suddenly, everyone understood. The surprised look on their faces changed to quiet understanding. The people's faces showed they believed Jonah, and they knew they needed to turn away from their sins. A special feeling settled over all the people in Nineveh, and it made them all want to be good. In his big palace, the king of Nineveh listened carefully to what Jonah said. His whole heart and mind started to change after he heard the message. With shaky hands, the king took off his fancy clothes and put on a scratchy, simple outfit to show that he was sorry. The king sat in a pile of ashes to show how sad and sorry he was. The king, wearing his beautiful, shiny clothes, came out and raised his hand. Everyone became very quiet, waiting for him to speak. The king unrolled a big paper with a tiny bit of hope in his voice, read a loud message.
Everyone must pray to God and stop being mean and hurting people. Maybe God will see how sorry we are and won't be angry anymore. Maybe he'll change his mind and not get rid of us.
The king's words floated in the air, telling the people of Nineveh to change and promising them a new chance. Nineveh was covered in a sad, heavy feeling because everyone felt bad for what they had done. To show how sorry they were, the people of Nineveh stopped eating and silently asked God to forgive them. Even the animals were part of the sad and sorry feeling. They were covered in the rough cloth too, showing how everyone and everything in the city was so very sad. Everyone in the city, even the animals, wanted to be good again. Under the warm sun, Nineveh was full of life and happy people once more. God looked down from heaven and saw a wonderful change in the hearts of the people in Nineveh. From the heart of the city, a true and honest sorry came up, showing how everyone had truly changed and could be good again. God was no longer mad at Nineveh. Instead, a wave of his love and forgiveness washed over the whole city. The people felt brand new and happy, and they promised to be kind to each other from then on. Outside the city of Nineveh, Jonah sat all by himself, feeling very, very angry. He sat there, stiff and mad, staring at the city. The people in the city were busy and happy, but they didn't know that Jonah was just sitting there, waiting for God to get angry and punish them. Jonah sat and waited quietly, hoping that God would get angry and punish the city. But the air was still, and nothing happened. Will God change his mind? Or will the city be destroyed like Jonah wanted? The hot sun beat down, and a little plant grew up, giving Jonah some good shade. Jonah was so happy to sit in the cool shade, but the next day, a tiny worm came and ate the plant's stem until it died. The plant's leaves drooped, and Jonah was left in the hot sun. A hot wind blew, making Jonah feel even hotter and more miserable. He felt so bad that he just wanted to die. As Jonah sat there in the heat, a bright, glowing light appeared. It was God. God's voice boomed.
You were sad about this little plant. Even though you didn't do anything to make it grow, it grew up in one night and died in one night. So why shouldn't I care about the big city of Nineveh? There are more than 120,000 people who don't know what's right and what's wrong. And there are many animals too.
Jonah's eyes got big as he finally understood the big lesson God was teaching him. In the hot, dry land, a big lesson from God made a person finally understand.
And so, here's the message for all of us. Never be afraid to say you're sorry and to try to do better. God is always ready to forgive us, just like he forgave me and the people of Nineveh. See you